right, today's lesson is lesson 5-9, powers of products and quotients. Hey, this slide right here is going to explain why we do what I'm about to teach you, okay? When you have 4 times 2, and that's in parentheses, and it's raised to the third power, what that means is 4 times 2 times 4 times 2 times 4 times 2. The 4 times 2 is written 3 times, okay? So once we've done that, we can rearrange our factors and put the 4's together and the 2's together. That's using the commutative property. And then we can rewrite that again with the associative property by grouping them. So we've got the 3 4's and then the 3 2's, and then write them as powers. Now, because the 4 and the 2 are numbers, ordinarily you wouldn't just leave it like this. You would actually go ahead and cube 4, and you would cube 2, and then you would multiply them. But for these purposes, I'm just showing you what this cubed means when you have 2 things being multiplied here, because we won't always have just numbers. So here's an example, skipping all of those steps. When you have 5 times 3, and the whole thing is raised to the 4th, you take that 4 and you apply it to both pieces, okay? It's almost like the distributive property, okay? Each piece in here gets raised to the 4th power. Now over here we've got it with letters. The M gets placed on the A and on the B, okay? Okay, so here we have 4x squared cubed. So we know we have to take that cubed, we have to apply it to the 4, and we have to apply it to the x squared. So that becomes 4 cubed times x squared cubed. Okay, oops, that should be a 3, cubed. Okay, now when you have a power raised to a power, as we learned in the previous chapter, you multiply the 2 exponents. So that's the step 2 right here, multiply the exponents. 4 cubed stays the same. All right, and x squared cubed becomes x to the 6th. And then step 3 is simplify. That means actually go ahead and cube that 4. And 4 cubed is 64. So that's 4 times 4 times 4. And that's actually 64. So our answer is 64x to the 6th. So I'll do these 2, and you will do these 2. Okay? So I'm going to take this 3, and I'm going to cube each piece. So that's 2 cubed times 3 cubed. Well, 2 cubed is 8, and 3 cubed is 27. 8 times 27 is 216. Okay, the next problem. 2p to the 4th. That becomes 2 to the 4th, p to the 4th. And then we simplify the 2 to the 4th piece, which becomes 16, and p to the 4th remains the same. Now I would like you to try this problem and this problem on your own. So you need to press pause on your playback, work the problems out, and then press play to see how you did. Okay, let's see how you did. We've got xy squared to the 5th. Okay, so we're going to take that 5th, we're going to apply it to the x and the y. That gives us x to the 5th, y squared to the 5th. Then we multiply those exponents, and that gives us x to the 5th, y to the 10th. On the next one, we have 5x cubed squared. So the 5 has to be squared, and the x cubed has to be squared. So that gives us 5 squared, x cubed squared. The 3 and the 2 need to be multiplied because we multiply our exponents when we raise a power to a power. That gives us 5 squared, x to the 6th. Then we actually square the 5, which gives us 25x to the 6th. Okay, now if you have a negative sign, it does matter whether it's inside the parentheses or outside the parentheses, and we've experienced this in previous lessons. But I'm going to give you an example that shows you what it actually means. This one, with the negative inside the parentheses, actually means negative 5x times negative 5x. The whole thing is being multiplied twice. Negative 5 times negative 5 is 25, and x times x is x squared. So we take this squared and we apply it to the negative 5 and to the x, not just to the 5. On the second one over here, we actually are going to take that squared, we're going to apply it to the 5 and to the x. This means negative 5x times 5x. So there's only one negative sign. That is a multiplication sign. There's only one negative sign. So your answer is actually negative. Negative 25x squared. I would like you to do this one and this one. So please press pause, work those two out on your paper, and then press play to see how you did. Okay, let's see how you did. On this one, we take our 4 and we apply it to the negative 2. We take our 4 and we apply it to the y. So that's negative 2 to the 4th, y to the 4th. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, times negative 2 is 8, times negative 2 is 16. Excuse me, the one previous was negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. You have to be careful when you're entering this into your calculator, because if you type in negative 2 exponent button 4, it will tell you the answer is negative 16. You have to put those parentheses in there so that that negative gets multiplied 4 times also. Okay, and on our other one, the negative just sits there. The 2 gets raised to the 4th power, and the y gets raised to the 4th power. Negative 2 to the 4th, y to the 4th. 2 to the 4th is 16, so negative 2 to the 4th is negative 16y to the 4th. Okay, when we have an exponent to something that is a fraction or a division problem, we show 2/3 cubed means 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3. When we're multiplying fractions, top times the top, so 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 cubed. 3 times 3 times 3, which is 3 cubed. That's the bottom times the bottom. So you can see that we take that exponent, that 3, and we apply it to the top and to the bottom. And here it is in variables. A over b raised to the m is a to the m over b to the m. And that is, of course, assuming that b does not equal 0. Okay, the area of the square tile. They give you the formula. Area equals s squared. Side times itself. S is the length of the side. Okay? The length of the side here is 3 over b. So we write the formula A equals s squared. Then we substitute in for s, 3 over b. A equals 3 over b squared. Now I put those parentheses there because otherwise the squared would only apply to the 3, because remember, the exponent only affects whatever it's touching. If it's touching the parentheses, it affects everything inside the parentheses. Okay, so that's 3 squared over b squared. Okay. 3 squared is 9. And b squared is just b squared because we don't know what it is. So it's 9 over b squared square units. Okay. I would like you to try these last two problems on your own. So go ahead and press pause, work them out on your own on your paper, and then press play to see how you did. Okay, let's see how you did. Okay, we're going to take this 4, we're going to apply it to the 2 and the 3, and I'm going to take this negative sign and I'm going to attach it to this top number. Because remember, when you have a negative fraction, it doesn't matter whether the negative is in the front, at the top, or the bottom. You have to just pick somewhere. It's out front here, but since we're raising it to the 4th power, it's easier if you assign it to one of the numbers. Okay, so that gives me negative 2 to the 4th, 3 to the 4th. Notice I put parentheses around that negative 2 so that the negative would be raised to the 4th power also. And 4 negatives are going to cancel each other out. Okay? Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Times negative 2 is negative 8. Times negative 2 is 16. And then 3 to the 4th is 81. So the answer is 16 over 81. On our second problem, this is a combination of everything we've done today with our exponents. We've got this 3 that needs to go to the top and the bottom. And the top has 2 terms. So the 2 is going to be cubed, the x squared is going to be cubed, and the 3 is going to be cubed. So we show that in the first step. We cube all of the pieces. 2 cubed, x squared cubed, 3 cubed. In the next step, I simplified this and this and this. So I sort of did 3 and 1. 2 cubed is 8. 8 squared cubed is 8 to the 6th. And 3 cubed is 27. So your answer there is 8x to the 6th over 27.